Greetings, Beth Warriors. Greetings. Greg is back for another live stream episode of the Results Kill Excuses channel. So grateful to be here. We're here. Where is here? Where is here? Where are you? Where am I? This place called Earth. We'll at least start there with the basics. It's been a little while since I've been on here, a few weeks. Lots and lots and lots of amazing things happening in this world, crazy things happening, chaos happening. You know what? I always say it's a reflection of what's going on within. It's a reflection of what's going on within us. I appreciate everybody that's going to tune in here tonight. I know I have a great message for you. If you stick around, I believe that there is a message of encouragement to try and encourage some of you. I've been talking a lot, especially today, about the newness. There's so much newness. Do you realize that? There's like energetic newness everywhere you look. We just had the new moon yesterday. We're coming into a new season tomorrow here in the Northern Hemisphere. We're going to be going into spring. It's already feeling like spring. Wearing shorts now, t-shirts. It's hot today. But that's not where it ends. There's newness in terms of the astrological chart. A lot of people may or may not realize that. The sign of Aries is the first sign in the astrological chart, and Pisces is the last. So there's newness there. About a month ago, we had the new Chinese zodiac year of the fire horse kickoff. And the reason why that's so important, if you haven't listened to a lot of my content, I talk about this all the time, about how this whole entire experience, right? This life experience is a classroom. It's a big school, right? We're in this big school called life on Earth. We didn't realize that because we thought school was just the pre-K, the kindergarten through 12th grade, college, and beyond. We thought that was the school, when it's actually this experience in this human body on this beautiful place called Earth that is a school in and of itself. It's a spiritual classroom. And what is so important about schools, what happens in schools is learning sometimes. Depends on if you showed up to class, whether or not you learned, or if you paid attention. And that's one of the unfortunate things about public school. We won't get into that discussion today, but we will talk about the way that we learn in this game called life. I think most people that'll be on here tonight are doing the Adulting 101 for sure. Right. And let me know if you agree with this. It's trial and error, right? It's trial and error. It's been trial and error. Adulting 101 has been trial and error, right? There's no handbooks of how to do it. There are some texts out there that are kind of tell you the rules, the do's and the don'ts, but it doesn't really get to the nitty gritty stuff. Or does it? Is it applicable? And so I'm somebody throughout my own life experience, right? I'm going on 14 years since I hit my rock bottom, since I made the decision to get sober and start doing life on life's terms. For me, sobriety meant breaking up with my chemical dependency with alcohol. I haven't had a drop in 14 years. And secondly, the other thing that was really kind of distorting myself was the THC. And THC, I went 9 years, and then in 2020, pandemic, post 19-year marriage ending, I started smoking some of that devil's lettuce. And I think this past December, I hit 3 years sober from that. 3 years, no THC, 14 years, no alcohol. And yes, that is important. That's not just general information. What's up, Jay? You know a lot more than you give yourself credit for. Jay's out here talking about the things that he's valued the most in terms of learning are the things he taught himself. And the thing is that is it, right? A lot of people, I don't know if people even realize this, but for 2 years, I went and became an elementary teacher. And it was right 2019 in the pandemic, right? The pandemic hit like 6 months into that experience. And so it was interesting. It was an interesting experience, but in the short amount of time, I learned a lot about public education that I probably already felt like I knew from the outside looking in, but when you were actually on the inside looking out, I learned a lot more. But I'm telling you, I really believe that God put me in that classroom, not only to touch the lives of the children and even the parents in many ways that I was able to be a part of. But the other really significant thing for me uh, with the teaching was I chose to go to like the worst school performance wise. And so it was what's considered like a trauma informed school. And so we started, I remember the first day that I walked into the classroom. School had already been going for about a month, and I'm talking books flying, fists flying, kids screaming, kids running out of the class. And I kind of just let all that energy, I didn't try to control it, right? Just like I've tried to encourage most of us to not try and control, right? Control self. When every time I heard someone say self control, I know what they mean, but I feel like they're missing something. They don't understand the fullness of this experience. Self-control is one of the worst things you could do because it only works 9 out of 10 times. But back to the classroom. The reason why I am here right now, in part, is because of my time in that classroom, my time in that school, because it was what was considered a trauma-informed school. So we had to do a bunch of professional development as teachers, to be able to facilitate, recognize, and hold space for trauma, real time trauma in children. And again, I taught fourth and fifth grade. So we're talking the 0 to 10 years old. I talk about all the time. There's a little child inside of you. Yes, you're an adult. Yes, maybe you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, or beyond. But there's a little child that's still inside of you if you have not yet done the emotional healing work of your past, of your childhood, right? It's all about the childhood. You deal with the things that you experienced from a traumatic perspective in your childhood, you're going to be able to really start feeling a greater sense of aliveness as you experience this thing called life. And so it was in that classroom that I saw the trauma. I like literally the kids would come in, 28 kids would come in every day, and you could see it. Children cannot hide emotional pain, right? And so I was seeing in the mirror, I was like filtering it through, man, like it was bringing up the memories of my childhood, right? The things that had happened to me. And I was able to like see like, wow. I mean, I honestly, God put me in that classroom to see that and ultimately I really helped to heal some of that in a very special way because I didn't really I wasn't like some hard ass teacher, just, you know, let's go, come on. Everybody thought because I was kind of military that I would be like a real hard teacher. And it's like, no, I was very present and I could see the trauma in the children. And it was sad, like, little girls scared of their body, like sitting like this in their chair. Like you could see it, like they're not hiding it at all, like no hiding. They're not like us, right? When you go to work and you're dealing with all the shit you're dealing with, like you have to put on that plastic face right here. Here it is. You got to put on this, right? We're so good. This is what we learned how to do. But them children at that young age, they don't have this yet. They learn it. We learn it. We learn it though. Why is this not? Right. My prop is tied up. But here's my prop. The mask, right? The mask. We put on the mask. As I just saw 11:11. But the kids don't put on a mask. As adults, we put on the mask. And we try and sweep all the shit from our past under the rug and put on our best face and try and just act like, oh no, everything's good. I'm doing good. When people ask you, how you doing? I'm good. I'm okay. I like at least people that say they're okay, because I know when someone's okay, that means I know they wish they could say more. I know they wish they could be heard. I know so many of us. Isn't that what so many of us want? Isn't that like, how good would that feel for those of you watching, listening right now? My heart goes to you right now. Like, how good would it feel for just to have somebody there neutral, a neutral person, a compassionate person that would just be like, how do you really feel? And then you could just like, you could have an emotional vomit, a verbal vomit. You could just, blah, I feel like, blah. We're so reserved. We're so faking shit all the time. And it's sad. But I know I went into that classroom to see children so that I could deal with my own shit because I was faking the shit. You see this? You see this level of authenticity? See, I was faking the shit. Right? And I saw it in the children, and I had to start, like, all these old memories started popping up. And that's when I really started figuring out, oh shoot, okay. Yeah. That stuff that's what's been messing me up this whole time. I remember being in therapy. I'm still in therapy. And I remember talking to many, many therapists, many, many times, many, many sessions, and just trying to figure myself out. Because again, I wanted to control myself. Right. I couldn't understand why I couldn't. I couldn't understand why in certain circumstances, certain situations, why this other version of me would kind of take over. And I almost felt like I'd be taken hostage, and then, the beast would come out, destroy everything, and then, it was like the Hulk, right? It's like the Hulk. That's literally what used to happen. It's like the Hulk would come out, smash all the things, and then next thing you know, I'm like, wait, what just happened? What just happened? And it's like, oh no, I just made things 10 times worse. Great. What the hell's wrong with me? Why can't I control it? Why can't I control it? That's how desperate I was, right? That's how desperate I was. That's what really led to just this obsession to figure myself out. A lot of you, if you're new here, you've never heard me, or, maybe you just don't know my full story. It's like, I've tried all the things. When I hit my rock bottom, I tried all the things. To try and figure myself out. And it's interesting that there's a comment there talking about fake it till you make it, right? I was the poster child for that. Fake it till you make it, fake it till you make it, fake it till you make it. It's like, man, like we need to stop faking it. Right? When I finally hit the rock bottom, I had a choice. I had a choice. And I think that I know I made the right choice, but I made more than just one choice, right? I made a choice not to give up. I made a choice to start doing things drastically different. I made a choice to ask for some help. I made a choice to say, all right, I'm done. No more alcohol, man. This is not the solution to my problems. I had created a relationship that if I was ever feeling down, or I had even, just I'd put it in the category that somehow poisoning myself. And yes, that's what alcohol is. Um, was fun. And it's like, no, it wasn't. There is nothing fun about getting drunk. Like, we think that's fun. That's how shitty most of our lives are. If we're really honest with ourselves, that the definition of getting fun is meeting up with people, poisoning yourselves, having blurry memories of what happened, maybe even sick the next day, feeling like fucking dog shit, and then saying, let's go do that again. That was fun. What? Come on, man. What is going on here? I was the best at that. I was the best at doing that. You know how good I was at doing that? I was so good at it. Honestly, people didn't like me because I was so good at doing that too. I was so good at doing the drinking, the partying, right? I was the worst influence. I was the guy that's, come on, let's go, drink more shots, more this, more that. Fuck. Right? Which that guy had a name, right? He has a name because he's a legend. That dude is a legend. That's the drunk motherfucker. He is a legend out there doing those kind of things all over the world. But when I hit that rock bottom, when we talk about the lessons of our existence on this planet, think about it. This planet is a classroom, right? I've been talking about this. There's the two most impactful ways that you're going to learn lessons about why you're really here, why you really exist. The two ways, I would say they're modalities. The two modalities, it's kind of a educational term. The two modalities, the two ways that you're going to learn the lessons you need to be better than who you've been is pain and newness. That's it. That sounds so simple. But most of us choose pain. Most of us need excruciating pain, incredibly challenging life situations for us to do something. Yeah, I was the same way, man. Class clown, party animal, crazy jock, crazy motherfucker. But if you really think about your life, right? The greatest teacher is newness. The most effective is pain. Pain. Why do we like the pain so much? And most people, it's like, I was at a grocery store today. I was chatting it up with the guy checking me out. And I asked him, how you doing? And he was like, oh, I'm okay. He kind of like stuttered it, mumbled it. And I said, why? What's going on? He's like, I don't know. He didn't really want to talk. And I said, well, I have a question for you. And so I pose this question to you right now. Yes, you, right? This is not entertainment. This is interaction. So here's a question for you right now. Question asked this guy. What would make your life better right now? What's one thing right now that would make your life better? Think about it. Don't just answer. If you just answer, that means you haven't really sat with that. What's one thing right now that would make your life better? When I asked the cash register guy, he was scared to say. So he went to his buddy. Another guy walked in. He's like, hey man, what do you think about this question? And I said, so I asked the other guy, what's one thing you would do? What's one thing you would do to change about your life to make it better? And eventually the two of them came to a conclusion. And you want to know what that was? Any guesses? Any guesses what these two guys working at a grocery store said? What's one thing that they wish, if they could change something about their life, they would do it to make their life better? You know what it was? It was to say, they both said that they wouldn't want to work. Who else feels like that? I know most of you do. Ooh, most of you do. Most of you do. If you're honest with yourself. See, most of you aren't honest with yourselves. That's an issue. Why are you not honest with yourself? Because you've been programmed over the course of your life, primarily through childhood, to behave a certain way, even if that means abandoning yourself, suppressing your own feelings, suppressing your opinions, suppressing your values, your beliefs, in order to retain acceptance with family groups, social groups, all kinds of different groups. We desire it so much. But both of these guys said, man, yeah, I wish I didn't have to work. If there's one thing I could change about my life, I wish I didn't have to work. And statistics, look this up. The statistics show that 87% of people, adults, hate their jobs. 87%. 87%. Yes, you're in that group. That's wild. And you want to hear what I said to them? Because it made sense. I know why their answer was to not have to work. I know why 87% of people don't want to work. Yeah, Jay, you're kind of onto it. It's about the matrix, but there's something deeper. What do we desire at the deepest parts of our soul? What do we desire? What do you desire? What do you desire in your soul? What do you really want? Is it a new house, a new car, a new love, a new job? What do you want? What do you really, really want? I know the answer to what collectively humans want. And the thing that we want, because it's actually encoded in our souls, it's the fact that we want freedom, like real freedom. And yet the way that the current system is, right? The way that the current system is it's unraveling right now. Everything's unraveling. There's chaos everywhere. It's great. I love it. I love talking. I think it's wonderful what's happening right now on this planet. It reminds me of me hitting my rock bottom, right? For me to change and become something better, what once was has to end. I couldn't bring that guy with me. I couldn't say, you know what, man, come on, bro. We just hit rock bottom. We just destroyed our life as we know it. But we'll dust it off, man. We can keep doing the same old shit, bro. We're good. You know what? There's probably some of you out there that watch this. I know I have a lot of silent listeners, kind of behind the scenes, don't really ever interact, and that's cool. But I know there's a lot of you out there like that. That you're continuously negotiating with yourself as to how do I make a change by doing the least. What can I do the least of that will give me the greatest result? Like, do I have to really change everything about me? Or can I just like change one little thing and then everything changes? It doesn't work that way. Right? See, that's negotiation. That's deception. Where you're deceiving yourself. If you think that who you've been gets to go with you when you become who you're supposed to be. And if you're picking up what I just put down, I commend you. If you're somebody that's like, I don't understand anything that this guy's talking about, well, that's okay too. If there's one message for you to take from tonight, the message would be to try new things. So you can be dismissed if you just came for a quick minute to just hop in and hop out. Give me the cheat sheet. Right? The cheat sheet for tonight is to try new things, do new things, think new things. Because newness is the greatest teacher, and there's no greater time than right now to start doing some new things, thinking some new things, trying some new things, because all of the energy of newness is all around you. You are immersed in it. But whether or not you, just like all creation, is going to start to regrow and rebirth itself in the spring season, everything is going to bloom and blossom. What about you? What are you going to do? What seeds are you planting in your life that are new that will bring about something in the next several months, the next year, the next 5 years, the next 10 years of your life? What are you doing new to bring about something different than what you got? See, that's the whole thing. You can absolutely change anything about your life. But do you have the courage to make the changes that will bring about the newness? I mean, I'm not the same dude I once was 14 years ago. I ran into another guy just the other day. I went to school with him. I almost think I got in a fight with him one time, and he was working at a coffee shop, and I recognized him right away. He looked the same. He looked good. He looked the same. And I said, "What's up, dude?" And he was like, just gave me that weird, like, "Do I know you? Who are you, bro?" And I'm like, "You don't know? You don't remember me?" He's like, "Nah, man. Nah, I don't remember you." I was like, "I'm so and so." He's like, "Really? Dang, dude, you don't look nothing like you used to." And every time that happens to me, it's not about, well, did I lose some weight? Did I grow my hair out? It's energy. Everything is energy. When someone doesn't recognize me, it has nothing to do with my looks. It has to do with the fact that I show up with a whole new energy. I have reworked the energy inside of me from being broken, wounded, angry, sad, betrayed, abandoned, rejected, unloved, unworthy. And you know what was numbing all that, right? It was the alcohol. It was the weed. That's why I loved it so much. Because all of those things I just said, if any of those things is kind of how you feel, well, can you point to what you're using? What are you doing right now to numb that, to make it go away? And we do that with, like, it's the purest of intentions. When I was a little kid and I first got turned on to alcohol, it was the purest of intentions. There was some peer pressure there, But when I got hooked, it was one thing to get turned on to alcohol, be like, hey, try this, bro. Here's a beer. Here's some, back then it was like mixed drinks or wine coolers and shit like that. But when I got hooked on it, it was because of what that shit did to me, inside of me. It wasn't what it did to other people. It was what did it do in me. I became another version of myself. And there was something about me that I liked that. Because for some reason, the version of myself that emerged with the alcohol in my system it seemed to override the pain, the sadness, the hurt, the neglect, the betrayal, the terror, all of the things. And it's like when I started drinking alcohol, I was just like preteen, teenager. It's like I had no wherewithal of this. I had no understanding of this. I had no connection with my emotional feelings. I was just fucking survival mode, right? Just growing up in the 80s, man. Growing up in the 80s and the 90s. Latchkey kids, emotionally unavailable parents, trying to we're all taking care of ourselves. No curfews, all up all night, partying every day. Grew up way too fast. And there's a big part of me that, I'll be honest with you, because I've been through so much healing work and I've really turned back the hands of time. I've redeemed so much time that was lost. It gives me a gratitude for each and every day. I don't take shit for granted like I used to. I know I am the author and the editor of my life. And so are you. I know that, again, I think everybody at this point hears about manifestation. I mean, I was doing a little scrolling before I got on here and manifesting and tarot cards and manifesting and manifest this, manifest that, manifest. And it's like, we're all manifestors. Because manifesting is really just it's kind of a newer word for just creator. You're a creator. And so the reality that you have is the reality that you chose, which is the reality you created for yourself. So you have to get to a place like that where it's like, if you're still just in the density of this world, the earth, this lifetime, and acting as if there's a get out of trouble card. Has anybody punched their ticket with the get out of trouble card? Where it's like someone told you, hey, look, you can get out of trouble. All the bad things you did, you can get out of all that trouble, but you just got to start doing this, and this. And even if you still do some trouble along the way, that's okay. As long as you keep doing this, and this, you've gotten out of trouble. Oh, man. And yet, I tried that too. I tried to get out of trouble card. I really did. I tried it so hard along this journey. And it didn't get me the results. That's why we have something called results kill excuses, because, there's a lot of promises out there. And if you're honest with yourself, you've been promised stuff, you've tried things, and you know when shit works and you know when shit doesn't work. You know when you get kind of a little good feeling. But I'm telling you, when you really transform yourself, where you don't need to have terms like, well, I got to just control myself more. It's like, control yourself. It's not about controlling yourself. It's about knowing yourself, falling in love with yourself, accepting yourself, sitting with all the pain and the trauma and the shit you've ever dealt with as a child, and through how it's kind of played itself out throughout the course of your life. And then allow yourself the compassion, the mercy, the grace, the humility to let it go, to sit in it and to make peace with it and to own your story so that you don't got to wear the masks anymore. You could be your true and authentic self. I mean, like the current reality is ending. Do we not see this? Am I the first person to see this? I know I'm not. But I know that it's still not at the mass level of people seeing that, like, this current reality has run its course. It's self-imploding, it's unraveling. And I've been, a good example of this is like when I was in the 80s, I was, let's just say when I was 7 years old, that was probably around 1985. I had a thing called a Walkman, right? And it was cassette tapes, right? If the future version of me right now was to go back in time, 1985, and talk to the little kid version of me and try and explain to that kid that's using a Walkman with tapes, making mixtapes, hitting record, having to use a little fucking pencil to wind in the cassette tape. If the version of me now was to go back then and say, "Hey man, like you gotta get a hold of what's coming up in the future, like the social media, we have these phones that do everything, man. It's a calculator, a video recorder, a camera, you can be your own TV channel all around the world." It's like, what, man? What are you talking about? I think I saw something that the smartphone has replaced over like 2,000 consumer products. One phone with all the apps and compatibility is over 2,000 consumer products. How could I have explained that to that kid back then to make sense to him? Well, here's the same problem that we have right here and now is we're seeing the current model, the current system of our reality on this planet is unraveling. It is unraveling right before our eyes. And I believe that just like with me, and maybe just like with you, that in order for something new to happen, in order for you to change something, to become something different, right? There has to be an ending for there to be a beginning. Well, we are going through an ending of the current timeline, the current reality. And I truly do believe that it is in the best interest of all the universe, of all humanity, that humans on this planet, yes, you are one of those. It's actually an eternal soul having a human experience. But the two-legged species on this planet, our job, the work that we're all craving, the reason why 87% of people hate their jobs is because you know that you're here for something else. You're not just here to fucking punch a clock, watch the tube, scroll the fucking apps, sit around, overeat, be sad, be miserable. There's something more. There's something more. And it really is the healing work. When that takes hold, it starts to free up space for you to really tap into your divine gifts, the divine creative spark that is within you. And I believe that is what we are stepping into. It's going on all around the world, right? It's great awakening. It's happening little by little, little by little. It's like messages like this are still, we're not popular yet, but that time is coming because people are looking for something more. They're looking for something more. Why? Because that deep down inside of you, you were here for something more. You're watching the sports, you're watching the shows, and you're bored. You're like, This doesn't fill me up anymore. This doesn't excite me the way it once did. This is lame. I keep putting all this energy and all this passion into something by just observing it, and it's not filling me up. It's not leaving me better off. So deep down inside, you're telling yourself there's something more. There's something more. But yet here I am with a vision saying, I know what is coming. I know that what the current system, the cassette tape, is coming to a close. And so that when you don't fully have that vision, because you're still very much emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, and definitely physically attached to this earth and the things on it, right? The systems, the governance, the communities, the jobs, all of it. When you are attached to it as if this is the reality, this is what it's all about. I got one shot. When it's like, you've had so many shots. We've all had so many shots. We've all done this so many times. We've all screwed it up, and it's like the lottery winners are the ones that are on this planet right now. Of all the souls that could be here right now, the ones that are actually here right now, hearing my voice, man, when you are revealed the truth as to how incredible it was. And it's funny because I talk to people about this shit all the time. The tipping point is coming. It's coming in fast. And when it happens, it's going to be quick. Boom. And when that happens, then yes, a lot of people are going to be, it's already happening, right? When everything is destabilizing and everything you're trying to hold on to, it's like, if you've ever been on a ship or even a plane in turbulence, you're like trying to like grab a hold of something because nothing's stable. And I'm here to tell you that the thing that is stable is the kingdom of God is within you. It's funny how a lot of people say that, but they don't really know what that means. There is a foundation inside of you. All the answers, all the knowledge is within. It's not without, it's within. But most of us don't have the ability to get quiet enough. Because even if you were to get quiet, it's like, man, the voices in your head are so rebellious, outlandish, critical, rude, cynical. It's probably the worst of the worst going on in most people's heads right now. Just always doubt, always fear, always guilt, always shame, always cynicism and criticism. And the sad thing is all those voices sound like you, but it's not you. And that is why, if we play it back, that is why one of the non-negotiables of the spiritual awakening path, the true spiritual awakening path, is sobriety. It's sobriety. I know a lot of people out there that talk a lot big game about doing this type of things and those types of things, and they still have chemical dependencies. And to me, again, this is not a judgment. This is an observation. And I understand where that chemical dependency is. It's because most systems, call them religion, they don't teach you how to heal your emotional trauma. They tell you just believe this and keep believing it, keep coming back, and you're good. All your problems are gone. It's like, no, they're not. My problems aren't gone. 444. The problems didn't go away. I tried it. And so that's the challenge, is people are awakening to their own self, to your higher self. We all have a higher self. We all have a higher self. You need to realize this about you. And your higher self is your truest self. It is the truest self. It is the divine, God-breathed eternal soul that exists within inside of your human existence. You are not your body. You are not those negative thoughts. You are not your past mistakes. You are not your job. You are not your government ID. You're not your military service. You're not your marriage status. You're not your parental status. You ain't any of that shit. That's not who you are. Those are all roles. Those are all just masks. Those are all false identities. And the reason why those are false identities, because even if you could think about a place called heaven and maybe beyond your life here, do you think people are going to celebrate you in the afterlife because you served in the military, or you were the mother of 5 children, or you worked for a business for 30 years, or you taught school for 25 years? Do you think you get celebrated for that? Like, do you think, like, I think most of us can have an imagination to be like, well, how is heaven? Do you think we get like plaques or something? Like, you get like, oh yeah, you did so great. You're the best teacher. But how is the experience on this earth? Ask yourself this. Whatever you can imagine about heaven, how is it relevant what you do here on this earth? How does it apply to heaven? Is heaven just like this incredible retirement community where once you're done here on earth, you just post up for eternity and just fucking kick back, man? You're just chilling. You just chill in the light of God. You're just chilling there. I mean, most of you I mean, most of you couldn't even enjoy a beach for 2 weeks without, you'd get sick of it, right? Most of you, you're burned out. So you're like, man, I would love the beach. But if I put you on an island for 2 weeks, you'd be like, I'm sick of this shit. I want to go home. But you're thinking what heaven's just like, you're just sitting back, you're just doing nothing. You're just chilling, all knowing, eternal spirit. Or wait, there's the other side of heaven. Let's not forget hell. If you don't do the get out of trouble card, if you don't do the get out of trouble card, you're going to burn in the eternal fire forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. You're just going to be suffering. Your soul is going to suffer forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever, because for the 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 years that you're on this planet, you didn't take advantage of the get out of trouble card. And so you're going to burn at the soul level for eternity, forever and ever. Make sure you get your get out of trouble card. I used to believe that shit. I genuinely used to think that was what it was. And then, you know what's so interesting, right? There's mystery to this. What was so interesting is that along my path, along this 14-year journey, right, I went all in on the religion. I said, man, this is it. This got to be it. If this ain't it, I don't know what I'm going to do. But see, here's the problem. You know what's the problem with religions, with faiths? The ones that exist on this planet, they get you thinking beyond the physical, which is really good, because you start thinking about spiritual things. You start thinking about invisible things, right? The unseen realm. But the problem with the religion that contrasts with my experience that I've undergone the past 14 years, that I do believe has been led by the hand of God each and every day, each and every step, each and every breath, has been religions are based on doing things. You got to do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that. And that's not God. God is not about don't do something or do something, right? It's like you get a choice. You have a free choice. You can do whatever you want. And see, a loving God isn't tarnished or isn't infuriated with you coming and being so bold and brave to come into this planet and have this human experience as a fragment of the creator. That if you kind of lose your way and lose your path and kind of start exploring and expanding the separation that you would have with creator, that it's not like a punitive process. It's not like a scorekeeping. That's not how God operates. It's not, I mean, to be with God is to not do something. It's actually to do nothing. It's to be completely still, free of thought, to just be completely still, present, so still. When you become so still, that's when you feel God. That's when you know God's there. It's not with like, oh, let me do all this. I gotta, oh shit. And then you're all nervous. Well, I did this and I did that thing and I did this thing. Oh no. Oh no. Am I still in? Am I in or am I out? Am I in or am I out? Oh no, I don't know. It's like, I remember all that anxiety, man. It's like, what? That's not it. It's not about rules. This whole entire experience is for all of us, humanity as a whole, to learn and grow and evolve. And guess what the playbook is? Trial and error. Trial and error. And most of us think trial and error is like one day after the next. I'm talking lifetimes. I am talking lifetimes of trial and error that we have been literally jockeying. Like, I mean, this is the championship stage if you're on planet Earth right now. This is the championship stage. Like, for you to be alive right now, like, you are someone, you are a very, very special soul. And yet, how many of you are walking around like that? Now, most of y'all are worried about paying a bill, are worried about if someone still loves you, are worried about how much gas is costing. It's like, man, you're an eternal soul. None of this shit matters. It's all for you to learn and grow. It's all for your benefit. It's all for your expansion. It's all lessons. The things that do press on you the hardest are actually the things that you need to activate your awakening. I mean, the biggest challenge for me is to really, in real time, be experiencing greater and greater levels of awareness as to everything that's unfolding right now, and then to try and put those in words that people that are just starting, right, are just like, it's like, have you ever been in a room and it's super dark, and then next thing you know, someone turns the lights on and you're like, ah, fuck, I can't see shit. Like, your eyes get like, your pupils have to calibrate. And it's the same as what's going on right here. For years, I've been putting this message out for several years now. And people are like, man, is this just motivational stuff or what is this? It's like, no, man, this is spiritual. This is the system for your spiritual awakening path. I'm an activator. That's something I realize about myself, is I have the ability to activate. the spiritual awakening in people, right? And sometimes that activation takes time. Some people hear the message and respond because they have a willingness. Some people hear the message and run the hell away. Oh man, ooh, not this guy. I'm out of here. I don't want to be accountable for hearing what he's got to say. Hell no, I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to be accountable for that. I don't want to have to heal my victim mindset. I don't want to have to stop being so, small-minded in terms of, just thinking of one country over the next, or, one tiny little situation over the next. Is like, wait, man, we're all in this together. It's one, right? There's oneness. I see you. You see me. We are one. We're all one. It's a fragment. See, perspective will change you. See, when you're close up, like if you're in a room of 10 people, you see 10 different people. And so then that's how you construct your identity. Because you say, well, I'm not them, I'm me, and I'm different. Even though you can't see you can see parts of you, but you'll never see you the way other people see you. And yet, if you were to go outside of that room and go up to the top of a building that's 20 stories and look down, you could maybe see 10 people, but now it's a little fuzzier, right? Your perspective changed. It's like, wow, you can't really tell. You could probably see who the men are and who the women are, but so a lot of the details are way grainier, right? And then if you were to get in an airplane and be at like 10,000 feet and looking down, now you don't even see individuals, you see communities, you see large land masses. And then if you were to like go outside of that, and then next thing you know, you're sitting on the moon and you're looking down on planet Earth, right? You would see one planet. You don't see 7 billion people. You see one planet, oneness. And that's a concept that's really challenging for people to think, because what are you going up against? You're going up against the ego, right? The ego. The ego is so perfectly placed within our conscientiousness, right? To just, man, it's meant to like keep us safe. But we all know that the ego probably does a lot more harm than it does good. Let's be honest. That ego does a lot more harm than it does good. And look, I love the philosophy. I love sharing this medicine. If you haven't yet, you should subscribe to the channel. I stream here on Facebook and on YouTube, Results Kill Excuses. You can go to the website too. But here's what I really want to encourage you with. Because wherever you're at in your journey, wherever you're at right now, do yourself a favor. Please do yourself a favor. You will benefit from this so greatly. Is if you try some new things. Right now, on the spot. If you're here, I always consider this a classroom. So here's what I'm going to ask you. Get yourself a piece of paper. Yes, a piece of paper, not your phone, not your notes in your phone. Like, stand up, even if you have to walk to another room, even if it's just a little scrap piece of paper, or even a bill that you can just get a pen. And I have a little scrap piece of paper here, right? Just a little scrap piece of paper, because a lot of you don't really have the journaling game down. I want you to answer these two questions. What's something that you're currently doing that you're proud of? So the first thing I want you to answer, and when you reflect through journaling, it's not about like answering fast. Here's what I do. When I ask myself a question, I don't just ask it and then try and be the first one to answer it. It's like I literally like even do this, right? I put my hands over my heart center and I kind of ask myself, "Hey, what's something I'm really proud of?" Right? And I really sit with that. Like it's kind of like an internal dialogue like, "Man, what's something I'm doing right now that I'm proud of?" And if you sit with yourself quietly, just like 10 seconds, you're gonna probably have more than just that quick answer, right? Like, those quick answers, that's like that school system, right? It's like, all right, show of it, like the teacher would ask a question, then it was like, me, I know, I know, I know. It's like the winner, right? It's like a competition, like trying to win the game. And we kind of have that program in our psyche. One of the most important things for you to start practicing is to slow things down. Especially like this world, yes, everything's unfolding and it feels like, I mean, there are literal studies that are showing time is actually moving faster. It's not just like this, oh, as when you get older, the time moves fast. No, everyone's experiencing an accelerated pace of life right now. But yet the thing is you can slow it down. You can slow down the time. Slow down your thinking, slow down your breath. I've been doing this. It's probably, it's a very, it's like a wealth frequency actually when you move slow. Because when you're urgent, when you're like kind of rushed everywhere, it's like that's scarcity. That's like that sense of urgency. There's fear in it. But when you're like kind of like moving at your pace, just kind of cruising through. And the same is true with when you answer these questions. So, first question, what is something I'm doing right now that I'm proud of? Second question, again, sit with this. What is something I'm afraid to do right now? Ooh, what is something I'm afraid to do right now? Can you be honest with yourself? And then the follow up to that is why? Why am I afraid? Now, what would be really important, and a lot of us are missing this in this day and age, is having the community, is having a strong community of people that you could share these kind of questions and reflections with so that you could have accountability. And that's a desire that I have here with this channel. Is for people to feel safe, to be vulnerable, to be real, to be authentic, to not feel judged or, any of that. But that you can show up and be your true and authentic self. That you can say, yeah, I'm afraid of doing this. And this is why. And then so the follow up to that question is, what would need to change for you to overcome the fear? What needs to change in your life for you to overcome the fear? And what you're probably going to realize is that the thing that needs to change, it's not like, it's not something that takes time. It's not going to be like, well, I'll overcome the fear if I lose 100 pounds, or I'll overcome this fear if, you know, like something in the future happens. No, it's usually fear is psychological. So usually the thing for you to do is to just realize that it's an attitude adjustment. It's you saying that you're going to start believing in yourself. That the way that you become courageous isn't by being, it's by being brave. Courage is something that is earned through bravery. And at the end of the day, what do you have to lose by being brave? And if you really sit with some of that energy with yourself, what you're going to realize is that there is something inside of you that is dying to be, it wants to be expressed by you. It wants to be shared. It wants to be refined and practiced and mastered and ultimately shared. Because there is something in you That's awesome, man. Thank you. That's a good confirmation. That means spirit's with you. That means spirit is here, spirit's with you. We're getting, ears are ringing. Yeah, that's usually a good time to be like, play this back and listen to this a few times and really sit with this energy. Fear is an illusion, right? There is literally two emotions. There's two emotions for you to be operating with each and every day, 100% of the time. And you get a choice. You get the choice. It's either love or fear. Love or fear. And so the tricky part is we want to negotiate. We want to think things are love when they're really fear. See, there's a lot of things. If I was to point out to you that, do you think controlling something is the spirit of love or the spirit of fear? I mean, to me, it's pretty obvious that this, like, if you need to control something, that's because you're afraid of something. But see, when you love something, and I'm talking about like unconditional love, then you let it do whatever it needs to do. See, that's God. God isn't trying to control you. God doesn't want you to live by a list of here's the things to do and don't do. Or else I'm going to punish you forever if you do. If you break these things, if you don't follow these, I'm going to punish you. That's not God. God doesn't need to control you. He created you to have an experience as an eternal soul, as a fragment of his, that essence, so that you could understand what it is to be separate from God. I think that's that's probably one of the key lessons that we're fighting against that. We fight against it. So many of us, we fight against the separation, the idea of being separate, the idea of being abandoned, the idea of being all alone, helpless, hopeless, with this fear mongering that if you don't get the get out of trouble card, even if you keep doing the same old things, as long as you got the card, you can keep doing the same old things. Then you won't be in trouble. You'll get to go to, Paradise Hills and just veg out for the rest of your life. It's like, man, a lot of y'all doing that right now. A lot of y'all are living complacent lives. And the cool thing about when you tap into your gifts, when you tap into your talents, when you start facing your fears, what really comes forth from that is the fact that like you are the best at something, and that's not a comparison. Like you have something that is so incredible that we all want to celebrate you. But you're comparing to people that have already been doing something for all these years, and you're like, well, there's already too many of those. I am telling you, today I was doing a little scrolling before I got on here, and it was like, wow, there's like so many of like tarot people and this and that, like, and a part of me was like kind of like, wow, there's so many people doing this. But then the other part of me that's in love is saying, I, you know what? I'm so grateful that all these people are doing that. Good for them. It's incredible that they're doing that, because you know what's awesome is there's enough to go around. If you think that something that you have is oversaturated or there's already too many of it, I am telling you that is another lie from the lower self that is just trying to keep you stuck. And it's like, I don't know why we've kind of we're a part of the design of this experience. And we all have this thing called resistance. It's non-biased, right? Resistance doesn't pick on you less than it picks on me, right? Anytime you try and shift, I mean, there is a gravitational force. When you try to go from I'm living complacent, I'm living in fear, I'm living in doubt, I'm living in anger, I'm living in shame and grief, right? When you try and go from that energy, which is powerful energy, to I want to live in courage and love and joy and peace and prosperity and generosity and kindness and just, you know, light, like that energy spike, which is really a spiral going up. I mean, it takes a concerted, focused effort for you to sustain it, because all of us can, in an instant, you can start having thoughts of prosperity, thoughts of abundance, thoughts of love, thoughts of courage, thoughts of bravery, thoughts of everything working out beautifully, better than you could ever imagine. If I just was to start tapping into that, and that's why I put positive affirmations into every one of my morning routines, because it's like I need to build up that momentum for my day to be like, I'm going to polarize myself with positivity. And it doesn't mean that if there is challenging things happening in this world, that those things are irrelevant and don't matter. I just don't have an emotional attachment to it, because I trust a power greater than myself, that all of these things are happening for the greatest good of humanity. That is where so many of us have gotten lost. We don't realize that, just like in my story, I had to hit rock bottom. I had to kill that version of myself in order for this man to be made alive, for this version of myself to be developed, to become. I had to kill that old version. That dude was a mess. I love him so much, but he needed to go because it wasn't serving my purpose on this planet. He served a season, and there was many lessons. And I have so much love for him and everybody that's been a part of my story, including you. But in that story, what's so different about this planet? that everything on this planet, in order for us to have a new earth where we are free, because here's the thing, let's listen in. If you've made it to this far, listen to this. What appears to be pretty obvious to me is that there's enough resources to go around to take care of every single person on this planet. Yes? Do we agree that if there wasn't oligarchies and powers that be and greed and all this other shit going on, the haves and the have-nots, that collectively, universally, food-wise, energy-wise, just like there's enough resources on this big, beautiful planet for us to all be taken care of? Like, we were gifted this planet, and somewhere along the line, somebody said, I don't know when the hoodwink came in and basically the hijack happened, but it did happen. And that is what is falling apart right here, right now. And a lot of you are being called to disengage your focus from all that stuff so that you can start doing the work within, so that you can be in a position to help other people when that time comes. Yeah, that's an interesting comment about the bicycling, Arnold. And so I'm somebody that believes in universal law. And one of the universal laws that's being violated right now by the powers that be is that we are not allowed to manipulate others for our own personal gain. You can have just about anything you can imagine, as long as it doesn't take anything away from anybody else or it doesn't harm other people for you to get what you want. And everyone here for sure can come to the conclusion that that is what's happening. And that is why it's unraveling. No one has to overthrow it. There doesn't have to be revolt. It's just happening. But most of the panic and the fear is based on fear. It's the fear in the psyche of humanity. And that is why what is more important than you worrying about all these things that you have no control over, the more important thing for you to do right here, right now, is to do the new things, and especially those things that you feel afraid to do. Just do it. There's the message. Just do it. If you did write down a few things, the questions I asked earlier, I want to challenge you as we start a new season. What are 3 things? What are 3 new things that you will do in the next week, 2 weeks, the next month? What are 3 things that are brand new? Or maybe they're even, newness to me is also maybe bringing something from your past that you've been neglecting and not participating with, that it's time to bring it back. Why? Because it brings you joy. It brings you joy. It brings you bliss. 3 things, 3 new things. I challenge you to go out there and do it. See what happens on the other side. Come back. Let me know. Reach out to me anytime if you ever have questions. Greg@resultskillexcuses.com. But I am challenging you to go out there, do some new things. Just do it. Whether or not you get to the emotional healing work, right? That's what this channel is based on. It's built on. There's a lot of systems out there. One of them is the 1% Better Everyday Journal. If you haven't checked it out, go to resultskillexcuses.com, click on the link, get yourself a 1% Better Everyday Journal to help guide you through step by step. Very simple, easy way to really start processing your emotional wounds, reprogramming your negativity, and yes, accomplishing and building the goals and dreams of your deepest desires in your heart, in your soul, and in your mind. I love you guys. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. I hope this message brought you some kind of clarity, landed with you in a way that leaves you in a place of reflection so that you can become 1% better, little by little, each and every day. I'll catch you guys on the next one. You know the drill. Results kill excuses, because if it was easy, it wouldn't be worth it. Greg's out.